It's Sunday around 6 p.m. You're just sitting on the couch, nothing bad has actually happened, and suddenly your chest tightens. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken and you're not overreacting. Between 75 and 80% of people experience some version of this exact physical feeling. People usually call it the Sunday scaries and tell you to just relax, which is completely useless advice. What you're actually feeling is a highly specific mechanical loop firing in your brain. If you don't understand how this mechanism works, you're going to feel this again next Sunday and the Sunday after that. Same time, same tightness, with no idea why. We can dismantle this mechanical loop by looking at how your brain's internal simulator actually constructs it. This is a cross-section of your brain, and right here is the amygdala. It's your ancient threat detector, built entirely to spot immediate physical danger and keep you alive. But it has a glaring design flaw. The amygdala cannot tell the difference between a real-time physical threat standing right in front of you and an imagined threat you're just thinking about. To this system, a tiger with teeth and a Tuesday schedule look exactly the same. So when you sit there on Sunday evening and your mind starts running through Monday's inbox, that awkward meeting, or a dense calendar, those digital triggers act as false inputs. Your body blindly initiates a primitive survival response. It dumps stress hormones and tightens your chest over a calendar invite, as if you were running for your life. If this breakdown makes sense to you, hit subscribe. I dig into the actual mechanics of what's happening in your head every week. Ultimately, your brain is actively treating your modern, abstract work schedule like an immediate biological emergency. Researchers call this anticipatory anxiety. It happens because your brain is mentally time-traveling, leaving a perfectly safe living room to go rehearse a threatening future. When you mentally rehearse Monday's stress, your mind jumps forward to Monday morning, but your body is still stuck at Sunday at 6 p.m. The simulation is so vivid, it shoots a signal backward, forcing your physical body to panic hours before the event actually happens. Underneath the time-traveling panic, there is a second layer involving how your brain calculates value: loss aversion. This principle dictates that losing something, whether it's money or your own free time, feels twice as painful as gaining that same thing feels good. By Sunday evening, your brain treats the approaching Monday as the literal theft of your autonomy. It's grieving the loss of the weekend while simultaneously bracing for the simulated threats of the morning. You are grieving a loss in the present while physically suffering a simulated threat from the future. You cannot simply talk your amygdala out of a panic response. It does not process logical reasoning, which is why telling yourself it's going to be fine rarely works. To stop a vague, terrifying mental simulation, you have to give the brain an alternative. You must force it to render a competing, highly specific simulation. The override is simple. You only define the first 20 minutes of Monday morning using extremely mundane, concrete actions. Make coffee, open laptop, check calendar. When you force your brain to mentally rehearse this boring, concrete scene, you give it a calm state to render. This directly competes with the worst-case loop, stopping the runaway simulation in its tracks. Interrupting this loop requires competing with the amygdala on its own terms, replacing a vague, high-stakes simulation with one that is predictable and concrete. This upcoming Sunday night, try the first 20 minutes interrupt strategy. Write down your boring 3 steps and picture them. Comment Monday below if you regularly deal with a Sunday scaries. I'm curious how many of you are running this same simulation. Next time, we're looking at why your cognitive focus doesn't just fade gradually throughout the week. Instead, it drops off a cliff at one very specific point. And there's a biological reason for that too.